Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Citytilidie channel. As we look back at not the greatest night, was it, down on the south coast in Brighton with the old Seagulls last night? Yeah, we're going to look back at Brighton versus Manchester City at the Amex 7 p.m. kickoff on the 18th of May 2021. Yeah, frustrating night overall. I mean, we should have been relaxed and enjoying that. We were for about 4 or 5 minutes, weren't we? But there you go. It wasn't exactly what happened on the, what happened on the pitch. It was more what happened in various rooms at Stockley Park and various decisions by officials, not particularly the team playing. But it was quite annoying to watch and painful to watch. And so we should be relaxing watching these games now with the champions. It shouldn't really matter, should it? But sadly, we're football fans and it does really matter, doesn't it? But there you go. More on that in a moment, please. We'll have our usual match analysis, including Mr. Phil Banerjee chipping in with 5 goal reports today. I might even let him chip in with a so-called sending off report or a penalty report, one of the others. I'm not too sure what it is now, but there's loads of them last night, wasn't there? Of course, we'll have our quirky stats, etc. And a brief look at Brighton. I don't want to speak too much about them or credit to them, but more on those later on. And of course, where City go from here, which is on to play Everton, obviously, but there you go. Right, please, if you're new to the channel, please push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, try and inform and entertain. As you know, I do all City history stuff as well, so please, if you can tell your friends, if the City supporting friends about me as well, that'd be great. If you can get help me with the subscribers. I was trying to get to 900 by the end of May, but probably more likely that's probably in a June target, but any help you can give me. And you'll also see some stuff on my film and TV channel as well, so have a look at that if you get a chance. Or if you know somebody might be interested, I do similar sort of thing on their reviews and information vlogs, etc. on various stuff, TV stuff and movie stuff. The cinema's back open, yay! So we do stuff on cinema releases as well. And if you can do that for me, that'd be great. But it's football today, so if you need any friends or followers, I post loads of footy stuff on Facebook and Twitter. So if you sort out my links there, I do check every 2 or 3 days and follow everyone back. Please, all comments are welcome on our wonderful club. Don't forget the live shows on a Monday evening. There'll probably be another couple, 2 or 3 now before the end of the season. I might sort of just have a rest for a month or 2 while the season closes. But then, obviously, no rest with the vlogs. There'll be plenty of vlogs, so don't worry about that. Right, shall we get on with this one? Yeah, thumbs up, please. If you can just give it a thumbs up, it's great. Right, there we go. On to the match. Yeah, we start with the officials, don't we? Referee Stuart Atwell. Lionels, Constantine Zadikas and Nick Hopton. Okay. 4th official Graham Scott. VAR Jonathan Moss and assistant VAR Timothy Wood. He makes the brews. I don't know I'm not quite sure what the assistant VAR guy does, but there you go. He probably gets paid very well for it, whatever it is. Yeah, City starting lineup, 6 changes to the Newcastle game, which didn't surprise me. Ederson, Zinchenko, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Gundogan, Rodri, Bernardo, Torres, Mahrez and Foden. And on the subs bench, yeah, anyone here who's going to be playing in Portugal? Let me have a look. Stefan, no. Ake, no. Jesus, no. Laporte, borderline. Kevin De Bruyne, hopefully. Mendy, Fernandinho, hopefully. Garcia, definitely not. And Palmer, probably not. So there you go, more or less. So in other words, our first 11 was probably 7 or 8 or perhaps 8 or 9 players that will be playing in the Champions League. So, hey, we've got to destroy Brighton, weren't we? Well, that's my initial thoughts. Anyway, I thought I did get 8 correct. I was sort of... Let's say I was more than happy with that team last night, apart from a couple of perhaps 2 or 3 tweaks to it for the Champions League final. So it was a strong team to face Brighton. Pre-match, yeah, nothing overly exciting. Steve McInerney commented, Carson drop seems unfair. I like a bit of humour. Taking the blame for that defensive performance, I see, not on Pep team. Yeah, I did state he'd probably put in a transfer request after being dropped by Pep, but there you go. So match summation and stats, here we go. The first 45 minutes, yeah, within 2 minutes it's over to Phil. What more could we ask for? It's a goal, yeah, not oh no, it's a goal, yeah. It all started off so well. Over to Phil Banerjee. Please check out his match reports on Facebook as well. Don't forget, I just dip in and out with these, which he kindly lets me do. So But you want one of the best match reports. Forget the papers and what they come up with. Just go on to Phil Banerjee on Facebook. It started off so well with City taking the lead in the second minute. Mahrez jinked left and right before hitting a looping cross from the right, and Ilkay Gundogan's carefully placed diagonal header from a yard out flew past a Brighton keeper and bounced into the net. Yep, sorted, wasn't it? Sort of game over, really, wasn't it? And we only had another 88 minutes to go. I'm sure we'll knock another couple of in. Anyway, yeah, 10 minutes. Well, it all starts turning to SHIT, doesn't it? A long ball from Cancelo, totally mistimed. Long ball, yeah, Cancelo totally mistimed it. He went to sort of try to kick it first, went over his head. I mean, he's a professional footballer. I don't accept that sort of play, even though we know he's not great defensively. I just think it was poor. So poor judgment anyway, and that left him in a bit of trouble, didn't it? But Welbeck, yeah, probably on the deck all the time, wasn't he? Welbeck came. They both came together. I think Welbeck, very, very clever, very clever. I mean, he initiated the arm linking, etc. Very clever and went down, but very naive defending. But at the end of the day, yeah, probably a booking, but no, sending off. There you go. I think he actually went for his yellow card first of all, then decided to change it to a red. But that wasn't the first time he did it last night, Atwell. But surely the VAR would say, have a look at that. Go over to the screen and have a look at that. No, not a cat in hell's chance. City were down with 10 men. And I'm sorry, Pep with 10 men. Pep teams with 10 men. We're not very good. I don't think our style of play suits having 10 men. I don't think Pep adjusts it very well. I'm thinking back to the Wolverhampton Wanderers game, 2 or 3 seasons ago, when we were 2-0 up just after half time. We lost 3-2 and we never looked as though we were going to win it, even when we're 2-0 up. And we had a similar situation last night, yeah. Certainly against a high pressing team like Brighton, it's our system doesn't quite work with 10 men. I don't think Pep, for all his wonderfulness, has got the ability to cope with a 10 men. And he certainly doesn't have the ability to cope with when he brings on a certain player in a little moment, does it? Phil commented on that. He said, the replay showed Welbeck drawing his arm down first and initiating contact, and there was coming together of their legs. There was no obvious foul, and certainly enough doubt that there was no denial of a goal-scoring opportunity with the ball bouncing behind Welbeck. So they're totally right. So the first of many incorrect decisions. Garcia on, as I said, a big mistake by Pep. An unhappy Torres off, possibly scuppered his outside chance of playing in the final. It probably has. He might have another go at Everton, but I think Torres missed out a little bit, and I don't blame him for having a whinge. I think we should have carried on, should just tweak the team on the pitch rather than bring Garcia on. But hey, that's Pep's the boss, isn't he? 90 minutes, keeper spills it. Yeah, this is another one where it's not important overall to the game, but the keeper collects. Stones does nothing wrong. The keeper falls over him and spills it and gets a foul. I have no idea why. I know we protect keepers, but again, that was just symptomatic of what went on with the referee and the VAR last night. It was an absolutely shocking decision. Stones did absolutely nothing wrong. The keeper comes, falls over him and drops the ball. I mean, I don't think it particularly fell for a City player, but it just shows how these things, as you'll say, it's not big in the game. It won't even be thought about. Did you remember it? But I certainly did. It's just pathetic. 23 minutes, Foden times his run well. A great Gundogan pass finds him, but he's closed down by White, isn't he, before he got a shot off. Yeah, almost. 24 minutes, Welbeck down, was injured. No surprise there. Shame he hadn't about 14 minutes earlier, wasn't it? Something like that. But yeah, he's off in it. I mean, what a waste of time. I feel sorry for Welbeck. I mean, he's always getting injured, but it's just par for the course, isn't it? I mean, why would you even employ the guy? I have no idea. 27 minutes, yeah, handbash, yeah. Was booked when it looked as though the referee, again, high tackle. I mean, most people agree it should have been a sending off offence, and VAR again didn't see anything to change the decision. He'd actually fouled 2 or 3 earlier on. I mean, obviously, as we know, Brighton were quite physical at the start of that game, so it wasn't his first offence. I think he should have been off, but hey, there you go. We're not going to get the rub of the green tonight, obviously, and that carried on, didn't it? 31 minutes, Garcia skinned, but the cross finds Gross, who can't sort his legs out, and he sort of hits it against himself. I don't know what he was doing there, so a bit of a lucky escape for us. 37 minutes, Rodri gets high up, but he sort of gets to the edge of the box and have no idea what to do with it. Absolutely wasted space, in my opinion. 43 minutes, Garcia was skinned again. Yeah, he was constantly being skinned. Absolutely useless. 5 minutes injury time. I've never seen the like of it at half-time. Perhaps Brighton were in the ascendancy and City was struggling with 10 men. Perhaps he wanted us to play longer and tire, but I've never seen 5 minutes plus at half time. When no, all right, there were stoppages, but usually that's ignored for half time. You just have 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So again, just an absolute load of rubbish. Half time, my little comment: City working hard. Pep has option to freshen things later, so team does not get too tired. But really need to make a breakaway count. We did. Edison is having to go deep a lot because of the high press, and with 10 men, it's just coming back at him. Yeah, most of those long balls just weren't working. They're going out of play or literally going straight to Brighton again. So he can't do it again. That high press, we can't with one less man. It just didn't quite work for us, does it? Especially with Brighton pressing up all the time. Edison did struggle on his distribution. Bernardo having one of his worst games. Yeah, I thought Bernardo just kept losing it, and I think he was trying too hard because obviously he knew he had 10 men. I think he works hard anyway. I think he was trying even harder. He was probably having one of his worst games I've seen for a while, actually, of actually losing the ball. But you can't blame it because he's sort of trying to do everything on his own. He took on too much responsibility, I think. And of course you've got Garcia, so we may as well be playing with 9 men by that stage, because Garcia was a total waste of time. Hopefully, I said at half time, Pep can tweak things as a Brighton goal looks on the cards at some stage. Not 3 goals even. 48 minutes, it was 2-0, wasn't it? Over to Phil. Bolden won the ball just before halfway and ran forward at pace past a Brighton defence before shooting low inside the right hand post. A terrific display of power and poise by the young playmaker, which show what a wonderful talent he is. 50 minutes, we're still with Phil, 2-1, yeah. Didn't get much time to celebrate, did we? Trossard pulled one back in the 50th minute when Rodri blindly played a back pass to him. Useless. And ran from halfway through the City half, cut inside Stones and then a lunging Diaz before slotting the ball in. Yeah, there were bodies all over the place. I thought we were at one stage we were going to manage to get away with that one, but it wasn't to be, was it? 53 minutes, Bernardo collects the ball from a throw-in. And the line flags. I have no idea. You can't be offside from a throw-in, can you? And he didn't foul anybody. And the line, and that's another one of these silly little things that people forget. But was what was the flag for? I have no idea. You can't be offside from a throw-in, can you? So even if he's offside, and he didn't foul the player. And again, another one that went unnoticed, but on the overall aspect of the game just showed what it's either incompetence or the cheating, and I think I go for the latter, to be honest with you, and I'll say that I just think they're absolutely shocking. 54 minutes, Gundogan was down after being kicked to death. He eventually just gave up. I think he was feeling it at half time, but he had to go off, didn't he? And Thurner came on, which was a total disaster. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, Gundogan's fine. It played okay till then. 62 minutes, Brighton was just attack after attack. It was just a matter of time, wasn't it? I just thought that even from as soon as he got that one back at 2-0, I thought we're going to lose this. I just thought that myself, unless Brighton didn't have the shooting boots on. Sadly, they did, and the heading boots on. You have heading boots, whatever. 2-2, yes, back to Phil. City's tendency to drop deep in this game was to prove costly in the 72nd minute, as it was much space was granted to Gross out wide on Brighton's right. Webster ran in unchallenged to head his long cross pass header. Yeah, a bit doubts over our big centre halves where worthy, but hey, there you go. 75 minutes, Sanchez finally holds on to one from Amara's free kick. Yeah, he'd been spilling them all game. He sort of, but even that was a second attempt, wasn't it? But at least he didn't go far away from him, but certainly almost an opportunity. But 76 minutes, back to Phil. It's 3-2 to Brighton. Soon after, when Edison saved Burns' attempt and the lanky defender poked in the rebound. This time the attack had come through the vulnerable right-hand side of City's defence. I think both sides were very vulnerable. What were the lines? And the build-up to that, I think there was an offside, but there's no lines drawn, and to me it looked pretty close. But it doesn't matter, it's City, isn't it? It doesn't matter. They won the league, but I mean, they do that when it's a crucial game, so I don't remember any lines. I think it was that particular goal that looked a bit borderline offside at the start of it, but there's no lines drawn across the pitch. But there you go, just a total farce, really, wasn't it? Jesus was on for a pretty knackered Bernardo, who I'm not going to. Sadly, he did have one of his worst games, but he was absolutely knackered because he tried to do everything. Certain players didn't help him. We'll have more of that in the player ratings. 82 minutes, Ferrer yellow. Again, Ferner gets a yellow and remonstrates because Jesus had literally been fouled a split second before, and Atwell had just waved play on. It was just a series of comedy of errors by the officiating last night, and certainly there was no. It wasn't. Sometimes it evens itself out, but I'm sorry, last night City got every single dubious decision, or even decisions where you thought, what the hell's going on? But there you go. 5 minutes injury time. Never really looked as though we could equalise, but then we nearly did, yeah. Looks a bit dubious on Jesus, I mean, to say the least. I mean, I don't think he even touched the ball. Was it Lallana coming back? But no penalty given by him, that idiot on the pitch, and nothing said it was a clear and obvious area by VAR. So again, we didn't get what looks like an obvious penalty to me. I don't even think Lallana touched the ball on his way through with his boot, but hey, there you go. And then we just nearly scraped it, didn't we? 91 minutes, Jesus had an okay shot saved, palmed out again by the keeper, who couldn't hold a goal and couldn't catch a goal, could he really? He kept dropping everything. But Garcia, well, could he be our hero? Could he? Heck. I mean, he volleyed over, didn't he? Absolutely pathetic. What a disgraceful display. Full time. I put 3-1 here. No, 3-2. 3-2, Bernard. Yeah, ref watch. What can I say? I'm not going to score him. He was absolutely awful. I say it wasn't just the major decisions, it was the little decisions as well. I did jokingly say on Twitter last night that the UEFA have decided to change that totally biased referee. Anyway, the other referee we've got to face in the Champions League, who's not very good anyway, but have decided to put these two in charge of the Champions League final just to make sure we don't win it. Going to put Atwell as ref and Moss as on VAR at the Champions League final. But there you go. VAR, not fit for purpose. English referees, last few games have been absolutely awful. But as I said, even in certain games, it's worked both ways. You know, we have had sort of the sort of refs sticking up for the case, but in this one, we may as well just forget it. It was just so one-sided. It's not bitter. I mean, of course, it's, you know, a Brighton fan, I must say, it's just bitter. But no, I'm sorry. I mean, you know, as a football fan, you've got to look at some of those decisions last night and wonder what the hell's going on. Match stats: shots 19 by Brighton, 8 by City. On target, 6 by Brighton, 4 by City. Possession, 63% for Brighton. I won't mention City's. Passes, 594 for Brighton, 349 for City. Pass completion, 88% for Brighton, only 83%. City's probably worst of the season for City. Corners, 5 for Brighton, 3 for City. Fouls, 13 by Brighton, 11 by City. I mean, that should have been like 23-11, I think. But there you go. Player ratings, it's Mr. Joe Bray for the Manchester Evening News. Yeah, he's sort of odd scores, but we'll go through these. His score first. My starting score is 6. I know I've been a bit unkind, I think, obviously, with 10 men, but I just think as a team, even though we had 10 men, we didn't, you know, it looked like what it was. Some players didn't perhaps want to get injured with one eye on the Champions League, and it just wasn't the greatest team performance either, even though we weren't done any favours, of course. But I think it would have been a totally different game if we hadn't lost a player, but there you go, we did. Edison. Joe Bray's description first. His pass broke the press and set up the first goal for City, but couldn't have stopped any of the 3 goals. His wait to secure the Golden Glove outright goes to the last day. Well, he doesn't. He got it because obviously I think he let a goal in last night, didn't he? So yeah, I'd give him a 7. I just give him a 6. I give him the basic. Again, he's not saving anything. He getting the hands of things and not keeping them out. His distribution was struggling because he didn't have a spare. You know, we were man down. He didn't find that spare man all the time. So I will give him a 6. I mean, I might have been tempted to give him a little bit less, but I'll give him a 6. But yeah, he was okay, but not great. Cancelo, red card might have been harsh for the challenge, probably was, but Cancelo didn't deal with the long balls and put his teammates right in it. He certainly did with Walker not fit, and Cancelo now suspended. There might be a problem at right back versus Everton. Well, not Everton I'm worried about, it's the Champions League, but I take his point. Yeah, and Joe was given him a 4 out of 10. That's shocking, but I'm going to give him a 2 out of 10. I think that's even more shocking. I'm sorry, he was just conned by Welbeck. Totally poor defending, basically. We know he's not the greatest defender, but I mean, I'm sorry, he just didn't get the basics right. He just mistimed everything, and then they say he got conned into that. So I'm going to give him 2 out of 10, my lowest of the season, but there you go, and someone else might get that as well. Stones recalled alongside Diaz. Stones did nothing wrong to suggest he isn't first in line to partner Diaz in the Champions League, but 3 goals against, hasn't secured his place just yet. But again, the defence did the best, but they weren't really helped, will they? He's given a 6. I'd give Stones a 6.5. He's not at it, but as I've said, with the carnage in front of him, I thought he did okay. I think I'll give him half a point extra. I don't think I want to blame Stones and Diaz last night for anything particularly. Diaz solid as ever. making some good interceptions when City needs to stand firm. Diaz put himself in front of everything once again, but like Stones might have done more to stop the first. Yeah, as I said, they were probably at fault. He's given a 6. I'd give Diaz a 7. I just remember about 4 or 5 blocks that could have been goals, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him an extra point. He was probably knackered, but I mean, there you go. To say the first and third goals were their fault, well, certainly the first goal wasn't. It was Rodri's fault. I don't care what happens, so you don't expect to be put in that position, do you? So I'll give him a 7. Obviously, I keep forgetting his name now. Joe give him a 6 anyway. So that was Rodri. Sorry, that was Diaz. Zinchenko back at left back. Zinchenko didn't have much to do, but did everything asked of him. With Cancelo's red card and Benjamin Mendy out favourites, his place to lose versus Chelsea. Absolutely, I think he's a shoe-in at the moment. Don't think he didn't do anything worse last night than anybody else. So I give him a 6, and Joe give him a 6. Rodri solid in the first half. Did well to protect the defence after the red card alongside Gundogan. Did he? I don't think so. Awful blind back pass for Brighton's goal. Shaky response, still leaves question marks over his final places. He won't get in the final. Hopefully he won't get in the final. 5 from Joe. I'd just give him a 3. I thought it was dreadful. Didn't think he was that good first half. And to actually within 90 seconds of going 2-0 ahead to do something like that, what's shocking. He does this all the time. He has lacks of concentration in games, and I'm sorry, I don't want to see him anywhere near that Champions League final. I just don't think he's good enough. Sorry, Rodri, but that's my opinion. So I said, Joe give him a 5, I'll give him a 3. Gundogan, great run header for the opening goal, led by example when City needed to stand up against 11 men. City will hope the failure of the referee to protect him against some strong tackles won't be costly. Yeah, let's hope so. He's given a 7. Yeah, I'll give him a 6.5. Give him an extra half a point. Perhaps could have pushed it to a 7, but I'll give him a 6.5 because he got a bit battered, didn't he? I don't think he enjoyed it, and I don't think he was really that up for it after getting a few kicks, to be honest with you either. Bernardo, initially a central midfielder and then an attacking midfielder after the reshuffle. Bernardo was tireless as usual, never let Brighton settle. Performance that might have played him back into the final 11 after Torres' heroics at Newcastle. Yeah, so give him a 6. As I said, I love Bernardo, you know I do, and I'm fairly sure he'll be in the Champions League final team. I've only given him a 5. I just think that was his 200th game as well. But I'm sorry, mate. I thought he was when we perhaps needed to keep the ball. He lost it more last night than he should have done. And it's not normally his game. And he tried too hard, in my opinion. But I'll have to mark him. I can't just mark him nice because he's my favourite, can I? Mahrez, a lovely cross for Gundogan's goal and always an option on the right. Limited to more defensive role. He did well and was one of the players who Guardiola looked to as putting a proper shift for the team effort. He's given him a 7, Mahrez. I thought, again, he offered nothing to help the team once we went down to 10 men. He had his little glimpses, but I don't think he worked hard enough at all. I'm going to give Mahrez a 5. I wasn't impressed at all with Mahrez's work ethic last night, which is to be expected. But, when you're down to 10 men, I think I want to see a bit more from Mahrez coming back. Foden received very close treatment from Brighton, but always found space in the pass, kept the shape well after the red card and showed how far his tactical game has come on this season. Superb solo goal, taking the pressure off City and earned applause from the home crowd. Yeah, it's and the boos. They were getting booing him, weren't they? 8 from Joe. I'll give him a 7.5. Fantastic goal, but he did get tired. But he's more or less on his own once to trying to play up front. So all credit to him. So 7.5. Torres looked lively before being sacrificed. Unfortunately, to be replaced, of course he was. Might have lost his chance of playing. Well, we'll see, won't we? But he only had a borderline chance anyway. Joe's given him a 6. I'll give him a 6. Garcia, here we go. Solid and unfamiliar right back role. Made some good clearances, but like other defenders, was part of a back line that conceded 3. Joe's given him a 6. How the hell, Joe, do you give Garcia a 6 for that display last night? It was absolutely garbage. I'm going to give him a 2. I think Joel's taking the mick with a 6 out of 10. No more needs to be said on Garcia. Just go, mate. Fernandinho replaced injured Gundogan, harried well in defensive midfield. Give him a 6. I'll give him the basic 6 for the amount of time he was on. Phil Bannage's rating, just a matter of interest. Edison 6, Cancelo not applicable. Stone 7, Diaz 8, Zinchenko 8, Silva 7, Rodri 5, Gundogan 7, Fernandinho 6 when he came on, Mahrez 6, Torres not applicable, Garcia 1. There you go. Well done, Phil. 1 for Garcia and Foden 7. He's usually very kind, isn't he, Phil? But there you go. Citizen man of the match. Yeah, I think Yeah, I would have thought Diaz and Foden were the standout, so I'm going to give it Foden, of course, because I think he worked his socks off, and what a fantastic goal. There we go. So overall at Brighton now, we played 11 games, won 5, drawn 2 and lost 4, scoring 20 goals and letting in 16. Quirky stats up to Joe. City have scored 10 Premier League goals in the opening 2 minutes of games under Pep Guardiola. He's the 4th manager to see his side scored 10 times in the first 2 minutes in the competition, after Wenger 19, Ferguson 17 and O'Neill 10. Well done, mate. City are the only third side in the Premier League history to both score a goal and have a man sent off in the opening 10 minutes of a match in the competition, after Blackburn v Leeds in February 1995 and Norwich v Portsmouth in January 2005. There were just 149 seconds between Phil Foden scoring City's second and Leandro Trossard pulling one back. Well, that's a quirky stat, I suppose. City have lost a Premier League game in which they were 2 goals ahead for the 6th time. Only Tottenham with 8 have done so more on more different occasions in the competition. Brighton's 3-2 win over City is only the second occasion in the Premier League history of a side starting the day top of the table, losing a match in which they were 2 goals ahead. The other was also Pep Guardiola's Man City, were very frail, in April 2018 against United. Oh God, I remember that one. City have received 2 red cards in the last 5 Premier League matches, having not received 1 in the 41 matches before then. Phil Foden has now scored 30 goals for City in all competitions, the same amount Mario Balotelli netted for the club. Balotelli. Man City have conceded 7 goals across 3 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time since the opening 3 games of the season. We're back to that dodgy form, aren't we? City have conceded 3 goals in consecutive Premier League games for the first time since December 2016. Phil Foden is the 4th youngest player ever to reach 30 goals scored for Man City, and the youngest since Neil Young in 1965, 20.8 years. 20.8 years, is that 20 years, 8 months or 0.8? I have no idea. Conclusion, yeah, let Brighton enjoy it. I wasn't overly impressed with the physicality of Brighton or Mr. Potter, to be honest with you. They do play football, but obviously the Brighton fans will be happy with that. I say, oh, don't be so soft and all this sort of thing. But if you got a ref who just lets them get away with it with blatant stuff, then fair enough. It added to what I thought was a pretty laid back display by City, a pretty one eye on a big game in a few 12 days time or whatever it is, and that's what it was. As I said, it could have been all so different. We stuck with 11 men on the pitch. I think we would have won that game, to be honest with you. But all credit to Brighton, the fans loved it. All right, good on you. Booing Foden at one stage, really? Why? I'm not too sure, but there you go. So it wasn't all perfect in Brighton's books as well, but give them that. We've got enough, haven't we? We shouldn't be greedy. General thoughts, so well done Brighton. Anyway, I think it moved them up to about 15th or something like that. But less the nastiness. I just thought there was no need for that, to be honest with you. I mean, just play football. There's no need for the physicality. Little thoughts on the game and City. I mean, I thought it was a shambles from the 10th minute onwards. To obviously we never really settled after that Cancelo sending off. As I said, the Wolves game came to mind from 2 or 3 seasons ago. Or it might have been 4 seasons ago, I'm not too sure now. And it always looked as though we would struggle, even when we went 2-0 up, and certainly as Brighton did they did play, don't get me wrong, they did actually play well and attack City, and obviously that high press, 11 on 11, they were doing very well. 11 on 10, I'm afraid it sort of worked, didn't it? The bad mistakes by City players. Rodri and Garcia, I think, was sort of the main culprits. Mahrez, as I said, offered nothing coming back to support the midfield. So basically, we were playing with Brighton with 8 or 9 men and mine 10 men. So that was mainly the problem. So a bit of stick for the defence, but I say they didn't get much respite, did they? Let's be honest about it. Add to that the awful referee who made at least 3 incorrect big decisions. Add to that all these little minor decisions, of which I've mentioned 2 or 3 in that match report. It was shocking. Add that to the physicality of Brighton, who are allowed to get away with it by these referees as well. And I can see Pep being forced to arrest 7 or 8 of these guys on Saturday, even though he won't want to. He might give them a little bit of time, but you know what he's like. He doesn't play subs, does he? That's the problem. We were absolutely knackered, weren't we? Let's be honest about it. And Brighton took full advantage and the full complement of substitutes. We sort of literally were forced into our substitutes. Pep never took anyone off to rest them, did he? He just carried on regardless. Again, something Pep does I don't quite understand. I mean, but who are we to criticise? But we can't we? And it was a sad way to lose our away winning streak. Of course it was. I mean, we don't like to lose, and we don't like to lose on that sort of thing. Mentally wise, psychologically wise, is it? Yeah, we need a competent display now against Everton. I know it's hard to say that, but we can't afford another dodgy, sort of dodgy referee and a dodgy team display, even though you probably will be. And I say, if there's one eye on the Champions League for this game, there certainly is next week when it's only 6 days, next game when it's only 6 days away. But we do need a bit more of a comfortable, less stressful, competently refereed game against Everton, don't we? So hopefully it will be. So there you go. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. As I say, it's not the greatest night, was it? Of course, I'll be back with a preview of the Everton game, and keep your eyes open for the Everton History Boys feature, which I quite enjoyed doing a couple of days ago. Some good stuff on that as well. And please check out all my recent City stuff. So fantastic. Anyway, as I said, let me know what you think. Anyway, we'll finish, not the greatest night, as I say, on the South Coast, but we move on, don't we? We're still the champions, doesn't alter anything, does it? Anyway, thanks for watching. What are we going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps you have a flit across, please have a look at my film and TV channel if you want to have a rest from football. All I ever ask you to do is please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.